The pineal gland, a tiny pinecone-shaped organ buried in the center of the brain, does more than most people realize. Medical textbooks describe it as a melatonin factory, the biological clock that tells the body when to sleep and when to wake. But there's another side to this gland, a side that ancient civilizations understood long before microscopes existed. They called it the seat of the soul, the inner eye, the gateway to consciousness that exists beyond the five senses. For this gateway to open, the gland must be clear, unobstructed, alive with energy. But for most people walking the earth today, it's not. Something is happening to it, slowly and silently, without warning or permission. The gland is turning to stone. Calcium crystals are forming inside it, layer by layer, day by day, blocking the flow of energy and severing the connection to higher awareness. This process is called calcification, and it's stealing something most people don't even know they possess. So what causes it? How could someone tell if their pineal gland has been compromised? And is there a way to reverse what's already been done? These are the questions that matter. And by the time this video ends, the answers will be clear. If this video appeared in your feed, it wasn't random. There's a reason curiosity led here. The search for knowledge about the pineal gland is often the first sign that something deeper is stirring. A remembering, an awakening, the soul beginning to recognize that there's more to existence than what the eyes can see. By seeking to understand this gland and how to activate it, the first steps toward unlocking human potential have already been taken. Think back to the tale of Pinocchio. Not the cheerful Disney version, but the original story written by Carlo Collodi in Italy over a century ago. A wooden puppet, carved from a tree, brought to life by a wish. He walks, he talks, but he's not real. Not yet. He's caught between two worlds, alive but not truly living. Conscious, but not truly aware. And through a series of trials, deceptions, and painful lessons, he's given a choice: remain wooden or become flesh. Most people know the surface details. The nose that grows with every lie. The cricket who serves as his conscience. The journey to find his creator. But there's a layer beneath the story that few ever consider. And a researcher named Santos Bonacci spent years uncovering it. Bonacci, known for his work in astrology, symbolism, and esoteric interpretation, argues that Pinocchio is not a children's story at all. It's a spiritual blueprint, a coded message about the transformation of the human soul. According to Bonacci, the puppet represents humanity in its unawakened state, mechanical, manipulated, disconnected from its divine origin. And the transformation into a real boy symbolizes enlightenment. The moment when the soul sheds its illusions and steps into its true nature. But here's where it gets profound. The connection between Pinocchio and the pineal gland isn't just thematic. It's linguistic. The word pineal comes from the Latin pinea, meaning pine cone. And in Italian, pino means pine. The gland itself is shaped like a pine cone, and the protagonist's name, Pinocchio, echoes that same root. Pine, pineal, Pinocchio. The connection is unmistakable. Bonacci suggests that the entire story is an allegory for the activation of the pineal gland and the opening of the third eye. Every symbol in the tale points back to this process. The wooden body represents the calcified, dormant state of consciousness. The lies that make his nose grow symbolize the illusions and distortions that cloud inner vision. And the journey toward becoming real mirrors the spiritual work required to decalcify the gland and awaken higher perception. When Pinocchio lies, his nose extends. It becomes a visible mark of his separation from truth. In the same way, when the pineal gland is blocked, the ability to perceive truth, inner truth, intuitive truth, spiritual truth is severed. The lies aren't just external, they're internal. The mind becomes clouded. Discernment fades. The connection to higher guidance weakens. But Pinocchio doesn't stay wooden. Through honesty, courage, and the willingness to face himself, he transforms. And that transformation isn't granted by an outside force. It's earned through inner work. The blue fairy doesn't wave a wand and make him real. She gives him the opportunity, but he has to walk the path himself. The same principle applies to the pineal gland. It won't activate on its own. It won't decalcify simply because time passes. The transformation requires awareness, intention, and action. Just as Pinocchio had to stop lying and start living with integrity, anyone seeking to awaken the third, I must clear the blockages, both physical and spiritual, that keep it shut. So what are those blockages? What's turning the gland to stone? The primary culprit is fluoride. It's in the water supply of most developed nations, added under the premise of preventing tooth decay. It's in toothpaste, in processed foods, in certain pharmaceuticals. And it has a disturbing characteristic. It accumulates in the pineal gland faster than anywhere else in the body. Over years of exposure, fluoride deposits build up, forming calcium phosphate crystals that harden the tissue and disrupt function. The very substance marketed as beneficial is calcifying the gateway to consciousness. Diet plays a massive role as well. Processed foods, refined sugars, artificial additives, they create inflammation and acidity in the body. To counteract that acidity, calcium is pulled from the bones. But it doesn't always go where it's needed. Some of it ends up depositing in soft tissues, including the pineal gland. Eating for convenience is, unknowingly, eating for calcification. Then there's the absence of sunlight. The pineal gland is photosensitive. It responds to light, not just through the eyes, but through the skull itself. Natural sunlight helps regulate its rhythm and keeps it functioning optimally. But modern life keeps people indoors, under artificial lighting, staring at screens. The gland, deprived of the light signals it evolved to receive, starts to malfunction. And dysfunction, over time, hardens into calcification. Stress is another accelerant. Chronic stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone that, in excess, wreaks havoc on the endocrine system. The pineal gland is part of that system, and when cortisol levels stay elevated for too long, the gland's ability to produce melatonin and regulate other hormones diminishes. Inflammation rises, balance is lost, and the gland begins to shut down. Electromagnetic fields are a newer concern, but a significant one. Wi-Fi routers, cell phones, laptops, Bluetooth devices. Modern life is saturated with electromagnetic radiation. The pineal gland, being highly sensitive to electromagnetic frequencies, is affected by this constant exposure. Research is still unfolding, but early studies suggest that EMFs disrupt the gland's natural rhythms and may contribute to its calcification. And finally, there's disuse. The pineal gland, like any part of the body, responds to activity. Meditation stimulates it. Visualization engages it. Deep states of contemplation awaken it. But most people never meditate. They never sit in silence. They never turn inward long enough to activate what's dormant. And so the gland, unstimulated and ignored, weakens. Like a muscle that atrophies from lack of use, it begins to harden. All of these factors compound. Fluoride in the water, processed food on the plate, stress in the mind, EMFs in the air, lack of sunlight, lack of stillness. Day by day, the calcification builds, and the third eye, once a doorway, becomes a wall. But the story of Pinocchio doesn't end with him staying wooden. And the story of the pineal gland doesn't have to end with it staying calcified. The first step is awareness. Just knowing that calcification is happening changes the equation. Awareness is the spark that begins the reversal. It's the moment Pinocchio realizes he's been living in deception. It's the turning point. Next comes action. Remove the sources. Filter the water to eliminate fluoride. Choose fluoride-free toothpaste. Eat whole, organic foods rich in antioxidants, berries, dark leafy greens, turmeric. These nutrients combat oxidative stress and support the gland's natural detoxification processes. Certain minerals accelerate the healing. Iodine helps displace fluoride from the tissues. Magnesium prevents calcium from depositing where it doesn't belong. Vitamin K2 directs calcium back to the bones and teeth, away from the soft tissues. These aren't just supplements. They're tools for reclaiming what's been lost. Sunlight becomes medicine. Early morning light, in particular, stimulates the pineal gland and helps reset its rhythm. Walk outside at dawn. Let the light touch the skin and enter the eyes. The gland responds. It remembers. Sound frequencies can dissolve calcification. Tibetans singing bowls, chanting, binaural beats tuned to specific frequencies. These vibrations resonate with the gland and help break up the crystalline deposits. Sound is not just heard, it's felt, and it can shift matter at the cellular level. Meditation is the most direct path. Focused attention on the space between the eyebrows, the location of the third eye, activates the pineal gland. Visualization practices, imagining a radiant light at the center of the brain, create new neural pathways and awaken dormant capacities. The practice doesn't have to be complex. It just has to be consistent. Practices like yoga, breath work, and grounding reconnect the body to its natural state. They lower cortisol, balance hormones, and create the internal environment where healing can occur. These aren't mystical rituals. They're physiological interventions with spiritual effects. And perhaps most important, live with intention. A life of constant distraction keeps the gland suppressed. A life of rhythm, reflection, and presence allows it to flourish. Turn off devices before bed. Spend time in nature. Cultivate moments of silence. These aren't luxuries. They're necessities for anyone serious about awakening. As the calcification begins to dissolve, something remarkable happens. Dreams become vivid, almost hyper-real. Intuition sharpens. Synchronicities appear more frequently. There's a growing sense of being guided, of being connected to an intelligence that operates beyond logic. The wooden puppet starts to feel its pulse. This is what it means to become real. Not in the fairy tale sense, but in the truest sense. To shed the layers of illusion. To clear the inner vision. To see with the third eye. To stop being pulled by external forces and start moving from an inner knowing that cannot be shaken. The pineal gland is not a metaphor. It's a physical organ with a spiritual function. And when it's awakened, perception shifts. Not because the world changes, but because the lens through which the world is seen becomes clear. Pinocchio became a real boy not because he wished for it, but because he earned it. Through truth, through courage, through inner transformation. The same applies here. The third eye doesn't open by accident. It opens through awareness, through discipline, through the willingness to clear what blocks it. The calcification is happening right now, but so is the possibility of reversal. The choice has always been present. Stay wooden or become real. The transformation begins with awareness. The gland can be healed. The eye can be opened. The only question is, will the work be done?